What's going on, everybody? Rare hosting here. It's Dravo. I'm with my good friend Mikey here. Bro, everyone, it's been a very busy and hectic few weeks for everyone, especially this man right here. I swear, it's hard to get him even home some days. We have some updates for everyone on the no skill side of things. Maybe a couple stories here and there. I'm pretty sure you said that before we started this recording, you had some story to say or tell, and honestly, I might have a couple. We'll see how things go. But Mikey, welcome back to the table. It's been a
Oh
good
man.
bit. I think the last one we did together was we were talking about VTubers, and Bad Dragon came up at some point.
Yeah, no. VTubers and dildos was a month ago, and man, that was a fun conversation to have. It's not as bad as it sounds, question mark. But no,
You'd be
dude, I've been
surprised
missing
how
it.
well they correlate.
There's a lot of overlap there. There's also a lot of overlap between Bad Dragon and E Class Racing because they have a sponsored team. But I maybe we'll get one for Initial Jeep. Who knows? I don't think so, but that'd be sick. Um, it wasn't so much like okay, hold on. Actually, there was a story I wanted to tell you. That I minced my memories up, and one of them was a crazy dream. We can get to that later. As far as the stories go, oh man. So since the last time I was on the podcast, we do a big community car show every year where all the proceeds from people registering go to charity. None of this goes into anybody's pockets. So every time a car pays to come in the show, it's like 30, $40, which isn't cheap.
Mhm.
It all goes to charity. And we have a good time. We do cool things. We have fun. And this year, we were really worried because the weather was rough at 7 in the morning. No, it was like six. Yeah, it was like 6:15 in the morning. We're driving out there, and the weather is not great. It's raining. It's kind of windy. I have a very heavy car. It weighs like 4,000 pounds, and it's just getting go karted side to side all over the road by the wind. I'm like,
Oh,
this is could
wow.
be worrisome. Yada yada yada. We get through the day, and what ends up happening, the weather is good until exactly 2:59 p.m. The show ends at 3. They declare the winners. My buddy Bill wins best engine and best custom in his class. He's super happy. Old guy got his trophies up and he's all smiling, just fucking waddling out of there. My dad wins best of show, which
Oh.
fucking shout out to dad, dude. That's awesome. His old 56 Ford Country sedan, immaculate, perfect, beautiful car. Um, he gets his trophy, he gets his picture taken, and exactly at 3 o'clock, a monsoon ripped through the car show. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
it went from super sunny, beautiful weather to 50-mile-an-hour winds, heavy rain. You couldn't see 5 feet down the road. The rain was so bad. Everybody's scrambling. All these classic cars are just getting nailed by the weather. People are diving to rip plastic tarps and covers over the cars. Frazier. Frazier had ninja-like reflexes as one of the canopies we were using to host the event. It's two of them tied together, so it's like 30 feet long. Gets ripped up into the air and starts taking off like a parachute. And Frazier just gets a running start, jumps like legit, like full NBA highlight reel, rips it out of the air, drags it back down to the earth, and just anchors both of them, one in each arm, just holding this bad boy against the wind. Oh, he's a lot faster than me. I had to run down and grab the other side. So yeah, no, for 40 minutes we had to hold this canopy down like full muscle, just hold this thing down as people were using it to pack up and cars were coming by to load everybody up and take them out in the rain. And it was cool. It was a fun weekend. I had a blast, but it was just wild. I've never been to a beautiful sunny day where we get Florida weather out here on the West Coast that just rips a mini monsoon and like a fart in the wind. After about 30 minutes, 40 minutes of storming, it's just gone. Beautiful weather again, the sun shining. It goes to 102. It's that hot outside. The whole city is steaming because everything just got so waterlogged. It was wild. It was a weird, Weird Saturday, man. Let me tell you, that was a wild one.
I think I remember you telling me this story. Then I remember like 2 days after that, I think we might have gotten like the little remnants of that over here where I live in Nebraska. Just in the middle of the night, no warning. It was sunny as hell all day, and then at like 10 up until like maybe 11, the fucking thunderstorm, crazy
Mhm.
winds, just absolute just nonsense, and then it's gone just like that.
Yeah, there was a weird storm front that was just terrorizing people, like, my aunt, she's a little old lady, out watering the lawn, doing something. "Oh, man, there's a lot of overcast." Just getting hammered with wind a minute later, fucking goes into her house soaking wet, just dripping. Like, "Yep, you got no
Yep.
warning for that. Not a one."
It
She was
reminds
so pissed.
man, that reminds me about a couple days ago. Um,
Mhm,
my father decided to take our truck to work and leave my mother the Mazda because it had a slight flat, like air was leaking
mhm.
in the back tire. 'Cause it wasn't too bad. Fill it up and maybe it'll last maybe an hour. And he left the back windows open by accident.
Oh,
And
motherfucker.
and there was no sign of rain up until like maybe 10 o'clock when we started getting clouds. And I was like, oh, it's getting a little cloudy, blah, blah, blah. I wasn't aware that the Mazda was even here. I hadn't looked
Mhm,
outside at all at that time. So around 1 o'clock, I hear she gets a phone call and it's my father. I didn't hear it because it was a phone call, but it was him calling her to tell her, "Hey, remember to get the tarp over the car so it doesn't get
mhm.
water all over it or in the inside of the car
Yep,
because we couldn't turn it on to like roll up the windows or whatever."
yeah.
And about an hour goes by, I hear it's raining. I'm like, "Oh, well, shit, I guess it's raining." Well, so much for going on my walk. She gets up in a sprint because apparently right after that phone call, she passed out for a little bit.
Oh god.
She gets up from her bed, fucking pajamas, and just looks at me. We need to go outside. Put the tarp on the car.
Mhm,
and
mhm.
and I'm just fucking no shoes, just socks, shorts, and a t-shirt. Going outside, and it's fucking
Hell yeah.
storming. We're out there putting out the tarp over the car, and me and her just go in the house, fucking dripping.
Yep.
And
I
I'm just looking at myself, look at her, and I'm like, this. I didn't plan on getting 2 showers today, but you know what? This works out.
oh, yeah.
But
Dude,
yeah,
I feel it. I feel it, dude. I was drenched when I got home from that, and I'm just sitting in my super nice shiny show car, sopping wet. Just my shoes are squeaking. Everything's completely drenched, and it's muggy as shit. Dude, that storm front was just messing with everybody last week. Or no, I think that was 2 weeks ago.
some of the yeah, not as bad as the one like a month ago for me, where it was literally flooding to the streets. But yeah, this year has been just been a lot of heavy rain, or especially like
Hold
for
up, hold
me.
up, hold up.
But
I think Mama Goblin's in the backyard. No, she's so loud I could hear her from the front of the house. Jesus. Sorry, I just want to make sure she wasn't gonna fall in the pool.
But yeah,
Oh,
out
man.
here where I live, I don't know how much it's been on your end, but out here, there's been anytime it rains, it's just heavy, a lot of it,
Mhm.
and not even just like a little sprinkle here and there. No, it's just been a lot of it, and it's like,
Yeah,
bro, it's the type of weather where if you had plans, you're not. No, you don't, not anymore.
yeah.
It's like this has been crazy this year. It has
We've been getting a
been.
lot.
Yeah, it's like not even 10%. It's more like, oh, we're getting hit with like the fucking Mother Nature's like full depression over here. She's sobbing her ass off. Like, what the fuck? Like,
Oh, yeah, we've been getting either record high or sopping rain and no in between. It's been muggy as shit some weeks where you're just in the house, not touching anything because you feel slimy and shit. Uh,
Oh
I'm
man,
normally I'm not a fall kind of guy, but if we can get into more consistent weather, I'm not opposed to it.
I'm not opposed to it either, dude. This is the most mosquito bites I've had ever this year, dude. The amount of humidity and moisture in the air is driving me insane. I don't want to touch any part of my body, and I'm afraid of touching like where a mosquito bit, and I'll be itching it all day. It's
Mhm.
so bad. I go outside. I don't even. Dude, I go outside. I'm over here like, well, I'm glad I have mosquito like repellent because this would be awful. I see them everywhere.
We just refilled yesterday, and especially since we have the pool, it's a big stagnant body of
Yep.
water. We keep it clean, but you can see them hovering, waiting for the opportunity for the water to be bad enough for them to get in. It's fucking terrible.
Yeah, it is. You definitely need to get like a top for that pool.
It's we're working on it. It's a old custom-ish design from the 70s, so availability is gonna be tricky.
Yeah.
I got a buddy who's gonna help me, and I think we're gonna cut 2 separate ones and try to weave it together in the middle.
Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do, even if you have to get a little creative.
Yeah, for the really bad winter weather, I'm kind of genuinely thinking I get a couple sectional pieces and just put a hard top over it, but we'll figure that out when we get there. I have too many things going on at this exact moment to start jumping into big projects
Yeah.
right
Speaking
away.
of things you've been going through, you, sir, had just helped the other part of NoSkill West move. What was that
Yeah,
like?
dude, it's fun because you're hanging out with the boys. Fraser Thomas and one of our other friends, Marlon, just got a place together and they moved more local to me, but it was pretty far from their homes. So there was a lot of oblong trips of going all the way out of our ways, picking up all their shit, and then coming all the way back. And it was cool. It was fun. It just ate up a lot of time because, whenever you move, you got to clean your old place after you pack everything up, go through, repair damages, clean things, check, and find out some stuff that was working is now broken. So
No.
make trips to the dump and what we were gonna move our big D&D table, and as soon as they took all the weight off of it and put it down somewhere else, the legs blew off. They all shattered. Which I wish that would have happened mid game. Like someone's character dies and just fuck this game, poof, and all the chair legs blow out. That would have been amazing.
So wait, you needed a
Oh
new chair or is it fine?
no,
Or
they
sorry,
need a
new
whole new
table.
table.
No, sorry, new table.
No, all 4 legs blew off, sir. Like, they took pieces of the table out with the legs, so
Ooh,
that
yeah.
thing's
Okay, yeah.
toast.
New table.
Um, I have a spare at my house that we're not using, so I think the plan is gonna be we once the boys get all settled up, they'll come pick up mine, and then, maybe get a sectional I have over laying around over here because we just got moved in, we have a bunch of leftover stuff that's not gonna work with the new house. A family friend also just got moved in this weekend. Same situation. Oh, I have all this. It doesn't fit in the new place. So it's working out really well that we have all this extra stuff that we can shift over to No Skill West new house and just kind of help them with the process, save them a couple bucks here and there, and it's been going really well. Things are moving steady, no issues, no drama, no headaches. The tenants were cool. Um, what was I gonna say? The new neighbors are super sick, they're all car people, so I'm gonna be hanging out and doing that whenever I go visit.
Oh yeah.
Got gotta make friends somehow. They were, working on a Porsche Boxster and a 2010, super clean single cab short bed Silverado. Oh, man, I'm fit right in this neighborhood, let's go.
Yeah, that's great, man. Fucking out here,
Mhm.
other than my aunt that lives literally next door, I don't talk to anyone.
Yeah, that's fair, I get it sometimes, but I don't know, I'm such a car guy, I can't turn it off. If I see somebody noodling around with something cool, just appear next to them, and they're like, "Ah, fuck." Like, sorry, didn't mean to frighten you.
The car
But are you pulling
boogeyman.
apart a rotary motor? Hold on now.
Like,
Nah,
you
it's
creep up on them. Like, whoa.
it happens when you're in the car community because everyone's so interested in what they see. They're like, "Oh, fuck, the person's here too." So now I gotta talk to them. And unfortunately, because of all this happening right now, I should mention we're not going to see the rest of No Skill West for at least a week, maybe up to 3, because 1 week we'll get them Wi-Fi. Then there's the troubleshooting of does the new setup work in the new house? And then there's the scheduling of okay, now that I have everything working, I need to get free because they're setting up furniture, internet, minor repairs to the home, and figuring out the what's the word I'm looking for? Layout because they're going to have an in-home D&D room and an in-home gym with all the extra space they now have.
An
So
in-home gym. Okay.
it's not going to be anything too fancy, but it'll be, more it'll save you having to get a gym membership and then drive wherever you needed to
Who
go.
do you think is going to use it?
Without a doubt, Marlon and maybe Frazier. I don't see Mando getting off his ass anytime soon.
You know what? Fair.
He's actually going to be dealing with a shoulder concern in the near future. So we might not see him on the channel for a little bit. He's got a lot of stuff personally going on.
Yeah.
So kind of why I wanted to do this episode, catch up with my boy, let everybody else know that some of the other boys are going to be tied up for the foreseeable future. So we'll be trying to squeeze in content here and there where we can.
Yeah. If you haven't noticed, content has been a little dry, sometimes a little spacey. We're trying to fill it in with like any shorts or even the occasional live stream, to keep
Hmm.
everyone, going, keep the channel active, and at least, be there for, the audience. But life for the last, I would say, like what, month, almost 2, it's been very
Yeah, almost
busy.
2 months.
Yeah, it's been very
It's
busy.
absolutely hectic between moving, between well, car troubles because Manda's car broke down twice. Um, and then I'm the family mechanic, so I got to go fix it.
Yep.
Yeah, moving, car troubles, and then home projects. It's just been a lot of stuff going on,
Yeah, and
and
you got a pool, big stand, refurbished
yeah,
in your backyard. So yeah, that was it. A whole process in itself.
yeah, that was one of the many things we had going on. That was the big one, but we still had other repairs getting done. My little cousin, I just went to his birthday party yesterday. His baby girl turned 1, so I'm like, all right, drop everything. We have to be there for this one. That's non-negotiable. Um, I missed Sac Anime this year, so yeah, trying to trying to be an adult and do adult things and not have a meltdown.
Yeah, it's the process, and it's what everyone goes through as an adult.
Yeah, it's yeah, I know it just sucks. I was really
Yeah,
excited. I've been running really high stress lately with everything going on. I was looking forward to day drinking, shooting cosplay videos, and then hanging out with my friends. But we'll try to catch them at the next one.
yeah. I mean, there's always a next one. I always enjoyed editing those videos, though. Such a blast being
Dude,
able to see everything, the convention, the cosplayers, and all that. Knowing one day I'll go out there myself. One day.
oh yeah, we'll get you out here for sure. And actually, hold on, we might. It's been Dragon Con has been haunting me lately, and I really want to go do that one. We might pick you up on the way. That one's out in Atlanta.
Atlanta, damn. All right. You know what?
You,
I'd be down. I'd be down.
I'd really like to swing that one day. It's on the dream list of like big cons to make. And if you guys haven't heard of it, YouTube it. You just see how crazy it is because yeah, it's not the biggest con, but it's up there for top 3 wildest for sure.
I've heard
For
stories. I've heard stories.
they make their own beer and they have event called Anything But Clothes Party. That place it goes pretty hard.
Anything but clothes.
Yeah, you can wear anything as long as it's not clothes.
Okay. I
Yeah,
need to, you
yeah.
know what? I need to look up footage from that.
So hold on now, type.
Again,
Oh,
sounds awesome.
safe search off. What?
Yeah, things have been very busy the last couple months. He's hardly ever home. Our buddy DJ, he's doing a lot of working.
Yeah, he's been working like a mad lad lately, but that's kind of because what he does. If for him being
Yeah.
security, your work is going to spike when there's events happening,
Oh
and
yeah.
you're just going to be on call
And
twenty
around this
4/7.
time of year, a lot of events happen. A lot of shit goes down.
A
People are
lot.
really active during the spring to summertime. Starts getting slower in fall to winter, but yeah, he's been very busy doing a lot of work. Most nights he isn't on until like maybe 9 o'clock.
Sorry.
Whoa, damn!
Sorry. Sorry. That's on me. That's
It's
my
that
bad.
beer. It's that beer.
Yeah, it is that beer.
But yeah, he isn't home until like maybe 9, sometimes 10 my time, and I'm like, yeah, you sir had a long day. But he's also dealing with a lot of like in-home stuff, a lot of things going on in
Mm.
his personal life. And on my end, very little. Like him. I think the biggest thing for me is just learning a new editing software, but that's it.
That's not a small task either. That's a lot to do. Like that's
Yep, I'm learning the
it's
limitations of what I can and can't do. And I'm over here. If anyone's curious, I'm moving over to DaVinci Resolve, and I'm learning what I can and can't do, and seeing that I need the full version, which is $300. But if I'm able to save with the money to, a warrant to purchase like that, I'll do it. And I'll be permanently a DaVinci Resolve editor and move away from Adobe because they're scumbags. And I don't want to be anywhere near their products.
mhm.
But I'm stuck with Premiere for now. Until then,
We'll get there
we get
one
there.
step at a time. And unfortunately, Adobe being as weird as they are lately just made things very difficult for people trying to be honest creators and just trying to do a good job. And
Hmm.
I could go on a whole rant about that, but I don't want to get super heated and caught up in all that nonsense and
Yeah.
trauma.
Other than that, most nights is just me and DJ, and though these guys will pop in every once in a while if they're on or home or whatever, just hanging out, doing stuff. I've been trying to think of things I could do for the channel, like any solo type content. Not a lot has come to mind. Maybe just live streaming some games here and there, but I might be doing a video on like honest first impressions of the new Black Ops 6 game coming out as the open beta comes out on 6th of September, so I might be doing a first impressions review type thing and probably DJ cuz I think he's going to also play it. We'll see. Other than
I
that,
think you guys should do that. And I think you should do a X Defiant montage.
I want to. I do.
Dude, the clips you've been dropping in the Discord are fantastic. Even if you're not gonna use a full montage, format those in the vertical so we can start using them for shorts because they are fantastic.
Yeah, I definitely do. You funny part is I would have more clips, but those like the quads and stuff I hit just so happen to be the fucking times where I am not recording.
My guy.
So I need to
My
I
guy.
need to bring in the habit of always recording when I'm playing that game, which hasn't really been a lot lately. Just because, like a lot of other players, it's just a little slow. And me and DJ went over this in the last Tavern Talk. You should check out, by the way. We talk about a lot of different games and stuff coming up. Actually, the find it came up in the conversation, and just the content drop has been really slow, and there's not a lot of new things. Kind of boring. I love the game, but there's not a lot to do. You know?
Yeah, and that happens. Not every game can be Hunt Showdown where events and cosmetics and challenges are all stacked with like a week apart and then it never slows down. And now
Mhm.
we're on a new map and we got to learn how to do everything on the new engine and the new physics and the new recoil system. So,
And dealing
y-
with performance issues because of the new engine.
oh my God, it's yeah, some of us are. I'm very lucky to say I'm not having any issues.
Yeah, me and my 2070 Super sometimes struggle keeping up, but when it does actually work, I'm loving the game. But then there's the times where I crash like 3 or 4 times in a row and I give up for that day. But other than that, yeah, X Defiant has been really slow. I do want to continue playing it. It's slowly dying because of the slow content drop, and I get it. A lot of people are just getting tired or
With the
bored, and it's just like, eh.
With a name as big as Ubisoft backing it, though, you would think it'd be having a little more support on that end of things. But
You would, huh? Like, honestly,
dude, they have such publishing power. Like, why?
like
Why are they
I'm
dragging
I
their
don't
ass?
agree with the one map a month plan they got for a three
Yeah,
month
very
for a
dumb.
3 month season. It's like, no, that's really slow, really slow. We
It's
even think on like the Call of Duty side that their amount of content of maps and weapons is a little slow. Not MW3. MW3 weapons side things. Every week there's something new. It's the maps that are like, because you get maybe 3, 4 a season, and even that's a little iffy because remix.
well, you have to realize what their competition is too. They're playing against Fortnite. They're playing against Apex. All these games that
Well,
have
not so
really
much
cemented
Apex
themselves.
anymore.
Oh, no, not so much. But, like, they're in a market where these games have cemented themselves by constantly pumping out new stuff, and
Yeah,
that's how they keep the audience retention. You can't say, "Oh, well, we're doing a higher quality," and deliver something about the same quality a lot slower. It doesn't work that way.
no, I really do think that they would benefit a lot more if they bumped up that 1 map a month to maybe 2 or even 3. Because apparently they have a whole year's worth of shit done already for the first year of the game, and everyone's like, what you're putting out right now is not enough. I think you just need to front load a lot of the shit you've already done and put it to enhance your game's content drops, because at this point it's not enough. People are leaving.
No. Yeah, it's such a hyper competitive market. Like, they really have to learn to read the room and be like, "Guys, this isn't working. Time to change plans and figure things out," and
Yeah, and apparently
I
from like inside source, according to Ubisoft in their first quarter earnings, X Defiant started out great. Everyone knows that. It started out huge. People were loving it. There's a lot of people playing. But ever since it started to lose player counts, apparently, according to an inside source, Ubisoft is looking at the game now and it's like, if it doesn't pick up, but I don't know if it was by season 3 or after season 3, I don't know, it might be shutting down.
It's not gonna pick up unless they do something about it, though.
Yeah. And everyone's like, you need to do something now. Because if you don't, the game's gonna shut down before even a year. Before it's even out a year.
It's gonna be a damn shame too.
It will be. Because it's an actual competition to something as big as Call of Duty. I
Mhm,
want competition. I don't want there just being the one choice. Because you guys know, I love PvP shooters. And having
mhm.
just the one choice of Call of Duty in the arcade shooter genre, it's not that great. Because we've seen what the
Yeah.
type of shit they get away with now because they're the only real big arcade shooter competition. I'm not saying only, but like the big one. Because
Yeah,
they
and
get away
did
with
you
a lot.
speaking of getting away with things, did you see they air quote and I'm gonna jokingly say this is the bit they ripped off Brandon Herrera.
Wait, what?
So Brandon Herrera, the gun tuber, made an AK-50, fully custom, years of R&D. It is
Oh, I saw that.
You did
Yeah,
see it.
and I
Okay.
saw I'm looking at the game's, like, in-game model and the real thing, and I'm like, it's the exact gun.
It's the exact gun. Same after because that magazine they use, that big drum one, isn't Brandon's. That's a third party one that he put on there because it fits and it looks cool. They just mysteriously had the same exact one, even though they designed this weapon from scratch, and that wasn't what it came with originally. That's crazy. What a weird, crazy coincidence.
Yeah. Ugh.
Call of Duty's on some shit these days, and someone really needs to knock them off of their high horse. But like you said, there's no competition for him,
Yeah,
and the competition that is there is committed to shooting itself in the foot for some reason.
yeah. First it was Halo, then it was
Oh my
X
god,
Defiant. Battlefield hasn't been in the picture since Battlefield 4. I mean, bro,
they won't give us Titanfall 3.
that too. Fucking Apex, and now Apex is also falling apart because the decisions they're doing are just people are not happy with.
Mm-mm.
Things are just falling apart, and there's no competition, and that's
That's
why,
why I ride Hunt so hard. I don't
yeah,
care if anybody's like, "Oh yeah, he's just doing it." They're doing it right. They're making good decisions. The one bad decision they've made in recent history was the UI, and they're fixing it. Everyone, stop fucking review bombing him over how the menu works. It's about gameplay. God damn it!
yeah, yeah. People nitpick at anything nowadays, but
Call of Duty can get away with stealing copyright material, but
yep,
you're gonna nitpick the UI's too clunky.
yep.
Get the fuck out of here.
Hey guys, it's me, DJ. Real quick before you go anywhere, I just wanted to remind you guys about NoSkill Entertainment's still ongoing partnership with Dubby. Yes, they are still hanging out with us over a year later. And trust me, they have an array of delicious flavors, such as Dragonade, Dub Sludge, and Galaxy Grenade. And hey, maybe caffeine isn't your thing. They have zero caffeine hydration formulas, such as Water Melanda and Pineberry Splash. And if any of these flavors piqued your interest, please use code NSE for 10% off your total order at checkout. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you guys later.
I remember when they copied or they took someone's like character art and used it as like a bundle. I think it was like some sort of like animal costume with wearing like like military gear, and it looked really cool. I'm like, yep, that is definitely someone else's work. That ain't Call of Duty. As I look at the comparisons, I'm like, yeah, that's 1-to-1.
Mm-hmm. So before we end up in this rabbit hole of everything Call of Duty's ever done wrong,
Yep,
I have a quick question for our film editor right here. How are we doing on time? Because I have no perspective. I'm day drinking. It could have been 2 hours for all I know.
for about 34 minutes.
All right, all right, all right. So before we end up in a hate rabbit hole, I would like to share that thing with you I brought up earlier, that vision I had, so to speak. You have to close out on kind of that stupid schizo dream note.
Yeah, what's up?
Okay. So Saturday night, ran my tank all the way to empty, partied hard, crawled into bed. Super exhausted, just been running on fumes all day. Pass out, nod off, have the coolest dream ever, and it leaves me with this insane concept. So, imagine this if you will. You're playing a VR game much like this. You got your hands, you got your head movement. It plays very similar to some of the games we know.
Mhm.
Very Tarkov esque, if you will. You start with very minimal gear, drop in random loot all over the map. Try to there's bots holding positions, there's players trying to get loot and gear and level up their characters. All right. It's a concept we've heard. We've seen it several times. Tarkov, Into the Radius, you could argue Hunt Showdown, games of that nature. So, where the twist is in my mind isn't that it's in a fictional universe, it's in the real world.
Oh,
They have artists go over real world cities, adding in battle emplacements, battle damage, hiding loot and gear all over the place. And that's so, for example, New York's a playable map, and it's huge online servers with players running in, finding loots, getting into battles, fighting bots. You could say there's a crazy storyline where some wild uh, faction will use to be politically correct is trying to take over the place, and the players are the people trying to fight back and retake the areas. So how cool would it be if now, instead of a couple of people in your area playing a game and kind of knowing each other online, you have these wild social clubs where there's a bunch of people who know the terrain and have a pretty good idea of how to get around the city, fighting off players who are coming from outside servers, coming from outside the city, and how crazy the camaraderie would be in the community. And now, say you want to go to somewhere else, you're like, oh yeah, West Coast, Best Coast, and you start heading out to Texas. You got to catch all the smoke because everybody in Texas knows how to shoot. They know their hometowns like the back of their hand. I think that would be such a fun, wild, innovative concept to have these real world cities all dressed up and be the set pieces and maps for a big VR multiplayer game.
That does sound really cool. Honestly. So we're talking like when it comes to the maps, are we talking like 1-to-1?
If possible, there are cities where that's just not going to be a feasible thing. New
Yeah.
York would be stretching it for sure. LA would be impossible. The city's just too massive. But that's where it could be cool, where you click on the big city. Say you want LA. All right, cool. You're in downtown LA and it just sections off that fence of the city. All right, you're in Hollywood, you're in the hills. You can do
Or
Inglewood or like specific
or we
areas.
can do like what GTA did and make it so like connected that it feels natural, but in reality it's very condensed.
Mhm. Mhm. Things like that, and then say the esports league take off. Could you imagine how mainstream that would go if someone wasn't just representing the USA team or the German team? They were representing their local team that was like champions of running their town. The hype, especially if LA was in this league. Oh my god, you've seen how crazy LA gets for like basketball and football games. Imagine the esports league of the casual fan that everybody could buy their way into this game. Massive mega arenas sold out, the banners, people chanting and crazy. A Raiders tailgate would look like nothing compared to this. And it opens up the opportunity to have like local lore be a part of maps and game modes. I thought of for a small 3v3 teams, like say 15, 20 teams for a tournament, it's on Alcatraz. So you're fighting your way through the prison and like in the it's period correct. So if you're in the prison cells, there's like 32 snub nose pistols and Tommy guns and all the Al Capone era weapons. And then if you're in like the guard towers or the barracks or anything like that, they have like 44 mags, the old police pistols, and like the old 12 gauge that has like the big ass chicken wire break at the end of it, like they had in the 50s.
Okay, so
Stuff like that would be fun.
all right, so you're talking like when it comes to like the PvP aspect in the maps, you're talking like maps that encapsulate like a simulated condensed version of the city, or you're talking like sections of the city?
I think for bigger areas, it would have to be like condensed versions of the city, but Alcatraz isn't very big. That's a small island.
Okay,
Yeah, it's got a prison on it, but that's only
so like
12 buildings and a
what if it was
courtyard.
like kind of like what you're talking about there, but they're like separate modes. Then you have like big city like modes and smaller sections where it's like
Mhm.
3v3, 5v5 type thing. And then you
Yep.
have in the different mode where it's like 100v100 or something like that.
Yep. Big team battle, fucking LA takeover or Houston or Tokyo, one of these huge mega cities. I'm just saying, like, there's potential there. And then, like, for say you wanted to do a cool esports league, well, you don't really want one team to have a home field advantage, so you do cities that aren't places anybody could visit or that don't exist anymore. So, like Kowloon, the walled city, just this massive urban complex built up to the heavens, but not very wide. So now there's people doing vertical fighting. There's people trying to control areas and like floors of it in a big match,
All right, and
and no one's gonna have the advantage because nobody who's lived there is like gonna be in this league. That shit was gone a long time ago.
yeah, and I mean, hell, you don't even have to keep it like to that. You can just be like, all right, so we want to go a little bit on on like the imaginary fantasy side. How about we
Mhm.
have like a special event of we'll take you to a place that no one has been, and you're gonna be in like a domed underwater city of Atlantis.
Yep, could do that.
I don't know. It sounds
I
cool.
I,
I
I have
like
a
the idea. It's really reminiscent of like a VR Battlefield almost.
yeah, kind of.
I would love to
And
see a VR game like that, even with destruction, buildings falling, all this stuff. It sounds awesome. And I would hope that one day we get something like that. And I hope that one day I have a PC that can run that.
well, I mean, I say crazy things like this because yeah, they're in here, but maybe somebody will pick up the idea. Maybe somebody in the audience right there will hear this and be like, "I need to run this up the chain," and it could kick off, and it could be a reality that maybe one day we'll get. And I'm not saying anybody who would be interested in this, but the U.S. Army has a habit of, making video games akin to training and equipment, like they did with drones, and then they had grenade baseballs. That's a thing they've done for a long time. So, if they want to kick a nickel down the, pipeline to help fund a gaming company to make this, I'm just saying there's a win-win for everybody here.
Yeah, I would love a game like that. As it is, I have been. If it wasn't for the fact that A, I'm editing all the time, and B, it's been hot.
Yep.
Getting in a headset is not the typical thing I want to do every day. That's why music videos have been very slow going for me lately, because it's just been hot. And I don't want to be in a headset for hours on end.
No, it's fair.
That, and also picking a song to make a music video and figure out how to do it is also a pain in the ass. But yeah, something like that sounds awesome, because I've been really thinking about going back in and doing some more PvP shooters like Contractors. And
Hmm.
apparently there's like this VR mode for Contractors, like a separate game you have to purchase. I don't know.
Yep.
I've been thinking about doing stuff like that because I love VR, like shooters and PvP and stuff like that. Something like that
I
would
mean,
definitely tickle my fancy, especially for a Battlefield esque game like that. Oh my god,
mhm.
it sounds so much
You
fun.
can imagine. That's been haunting my dreams the last couple of days, and I have been feeling the VR itch as well. I've been so busy. All I want to do is just come home, pop on the headset, get the AC running right on me because I know I'm going to be sweating my ass off, and then just lock and load, hit the contractors, hit the pop one. I definitely want to play some Arizona Sunshine again.
Do we need to get
Um,
Arizona Sunshine too?
I know.
We need to
I'm waiting
get
for the
it.
price to drop. They're
Yeah,
still asking a lot for that thing.
yeah, they are. Especially with how tight my like money has been. Yeah, I'm definitely waiting for it to drop at some point on like a sale or something.
Yeah, same here. I think they're great. It's a great game, but for what you get out of it, that price tag currently is a little steep.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna wait on that one. But yeah, I've been feeling the itch. I want to hop in and blow some shit up and fight monsters and zombies and maybe pop some other players. Unnecessarily reload to flex on them and show them all the cool shit I learned.
Dude, I
But
love mill sims like that. We could just actually have to pop, take out the mag from like a slot in your vest, put it in, cock it, and you have to learn how a gun actually works, how to actually reload it. Because
mhm.
some guns, even like say Contractors or what was the other one? I'm
um,
blanking on the name, but some guns like you can just press a button on the side of the gun and it ejects, or in some you actually have to physically pull out, or you can grab a mag for like an AK and pop it out with one and put it in. Just all
yep.
kinds of cool shit. And if you know how to do it in real life, you can do it in VR, and some people won't know how, and that's an advantage you have on others.
Hmm. Especially when you use the AS valve, because I've never seen one of those in real life, let alone held one. And it took me a minute to find out where the slide was.
Yeah.
You gotta fucking reach over and do this weird ass maneuver. It's not the most ergonomic weapon
Well,
I've
it's
ever
kind of
seen.
like an AK. You can just pop the magazine, put it in, and you have to reach under, or you can just keep this hand here, pop it out with your right, and then pull it with your right.
Yeah, that works until that barrel gets hot.
True.
I mean, Someone's gonna be like, me. You have the man hands. Shut up, okay? I don't. I want to hear your shit right now. Um, nah, I've been feeling the VR bug a lot lately, and
Me too.
I think Mando's gonna be joining us on here pretty soon. I can't make any promises about that, so rolling squad deep with the boys, just AKs ripping would be a fun thing. I think that would be a hilarious thing to see.
That is why I wish contract. I think they. I don't know if they have it or not, but I really want them to have like a party system. You to invite players
Right.
before joining a lobby because that would be awesome. Just squad up, then go into a lobby instead of having to go into a lobby like, okay, join, or I'm in this one. There's still like 3 slots left.
Right. It's such an inefficient, dated system, but it's not. The VR studios aren't near as big as regular gaming studios. It's a much smaller, more tight knit community.
Yeah.
So hopefully
Mm.
I'm trying to figure out how to say this without sounding mean, but my best attempt is going to be hopefully the interest in VR spikes again because it's been kind of plateaued lately. There's not been a real
Yeah,
hype for it like there hasn't been in recent years.
because
But
nothing is innovative is happening right now. Things are kind of just safe, and a lot of
mhm,
companies that are working on headsets and stuff are just trying to just improve on what they already have,
mhm.
but in small increments. Like I have
That's the thing though.
I have an
You're
index,
you
and I
mhm.
still have no reason or want to get anything newer because it doesn't really. It's not much of an improvement as of right now. I think the only improvement would be just mouth tracking or eye tracking. That's it.
AR, but there's no new fun games for augmented reality. Like everything's very basic, very demo-y, very tutorial-y.
Yeah,
Like there's a couple of neat ones, but a couple isn't enough to sell a whole system feature to make you want to
yeah,
buy a Quest 3
yeah.
or Pro.
Like
I don't know. VR's what's up, Brandon? Go
I was
for it. I
gonna
don't
say,
want to rant.
no, I was gonna say when we, I hope in the future because I know they're in the process of work. Oh, sorry, working on this or their prototypes or whatever. I want to be there to be actual substantial innovation before I actually plunge back into VR because I already plunged pretty deep already.
Mhm,
Fucking headset, full body, custom avatars, stuff like that.
mhm,
But for equipment wise, unless there's like an actual crazy increase of like, I don't know, quality, power, fidelity, all kinds of stuff. I'm even talking like if a company comes out with a new headset and their controller is just base controller is high functioning gloves, actual gloves and not controllers,
yeah.
then you got my attention. Hell, even when bodysuits like the haptic vest become more consumer friendly and more affordable, I'll start looking at that too. There's all kinds of stuff because right now everything is very expensive,
Very
very
expensive. This is a
expensive,
niche market for
very
sure.
niche. And with my budget, I don't have the same budget I had like a year ago or so.
Mhm.
A year ago or so, I had a little more leeway. Now, not so
Fucking
much.
same, bud.
Yeah,
Fucking same. Let me tell
especially
you.
especially with how things are going right now, with everything going up in price. It's just awful.
Mhm.
It's so bad. So
Oh,
it,
well, that's the thing. We're in a
yeah,
weird place because we're hitting the edge of what this technology. I'm gesturing towards a headset you can't see. I don't know why I
yeah,
did that. What this technology can handle is hitting its upper limits because I don't know if anybody knows the graphics card they're using in these headsets is a Snapdragon.
yeah.
I'm sure you probably have never heard that name before, right?
No, I know what they are. They're the same shit they put in
Okay.
phones.
Yeah, go ahead. That was gonna be my example right there. Good segue into it. Yeah, everybody who knows what their iPhone or their Android or their Google phone can do, they're using Snapdragon cards. So to think, if you really put in comparison of what your phone does on a day-to-day basis to what this headset can do, you can already see how much just running this headset is stressing out that little tiny card. And they are making better and better versions. Snapdragon just released a proprietary gaming PC, not a PC, a laptop. And normally I don't like gaming laptops, but with how much juice they can fit out of these things, I kind of want to see how good it is because yeah, the hardest part of building a laptop is minimal space to fit all that gaming power.
Yeah.
They're pretty good at working with that kind of thing. So I think that what's going to have to happen is somebody's going to have to develop a new kind of graphics card, or they use the same thing, but they build better controllers, like you were saying, stuff that comes fully loaded right out of the box,
Yeah.
or better peripherals. Because my uh, haptic vest I got on a Black Friday special, so it was $150 off. It's still a $200+ accessory,
Yep.
which not everybody can justify. Like, there's no reason to have it. You don't need it. It's a fun thing to have, but it's not like requirement. Or if you wanted to upgrade these dinky Quest 2 controllers to something more uh capable, what's the price difference you're looking at? Like another $300-$400?
Something like that.
Yeah, it's they're not cheap upgrades for just a little bit more performance. They're gonna have to overhaul the absolute dog shit out of these things to make it more consumer friendly
Yeah.
for the same price point.
It kind of comes back to the argument I was making earlier. With my index right now and the controllers I have right now with this slight finger tracking, it's not perfect. There's no real reason for me to go out and buy like a Quest 3 or the Apple whatever VR headset.
The Vision Pro is such a scam.
It's such a scam. And the fucking Quest Pro and all that stuff, it's not all that worth it to me. I heard that Valve is making another headset. Hopefully they can innovate on it and make it more powerful than this. Because this right now is still the headset that if I were to want to get another one to, like, if say for example, if this busted up or got broken or whatever, I'd still just go get another one of these.
I
don't know.
I'm fighting the urge to get one of those because I was on Marketplace looking for some other stuff, and I found a cheap one with trackers and base stations, and I'm really debating it. It's not even cheap. Cheap's the wrong word to use. It's
Yeah.
cheap for what it is,
Yeah.
but it's still like better than what it would be buying everything new.
Like it was like a $500+ thing, but the headset itself is only $250. The rest of the price goes to the base stations and controllers. So it's not that expensive just to replace the headset itself. It's $250-ish. And if you find it on the marketplace,
gaming,
it's even less.
Gaming wise, it's still very expensive
very
because
still.
this isn't something that sees the same. And unless you're one of those people, this thing isn't going to see the same use as an Xbox or a PlayStation or a
Oh,
PC.
yeah, shit. I'm
So
probably in this thing like maybe once a week at most.
Exactly. And if you are really hardcore into it, you have to have the space, you have to have the time to just, all right, we're playing, we're having fun. I'm a filthy mess. I need to absolutely shower after this because I'm gonna be greasy as shit if I don't. And if you don't, get your shit together. Jesus. And then you need to be able to have the charging time and the peripherals to support playing if you don't have an index, which just runs almost indefinitely plugged in.
Yep. Only thing I have to worry about is battery life of my controllers.
Exactly. I've seen people playing VR chat all crunched up in a ball like this, trying to carry a conversation because they're trying to play with their headset plugged into the power supply. Because they're milking it for every 10-20 seconds they can get. It's funny, it's cringy, but that's kind of the limits they're working with. And like you have to plan around that kind of shit if you really want to commit to breaking one of these headsets in for all the money it's worth. It's a weird niche, and I don't know where the future is going to go with it until we start getting some really groundbreaking stuff coming out. Or, and I will make the counter argument here, they start remastering retro titles that people would love to play in VR, like Star Fox. I hate to even say this one. House of the Dead, dude. Light guns. Just give me light gun games. That's all I want.
That's all
I want Time Crisis. I want House of the Dead. I want Point Blank. Do not give me Walking Dead or Tomb Raider. Those were horrible soulless cash grabs. You disgust me. I want those games.
He's not wrong though. It's really funny, but he's not wrong. But yeah, seriously, there's so many cool things you could pull from, cool APs like House of the Dead and Time Crisis and all that stuff. Things that you really don't see outside of arcades, and even those are starting to disappear now. And it's really
Mhm.
sad. And being able to play them at home in VR, where you are, in the game, controlling your weapon, it sounds so much fun, and they haven't done it yet. I think there's like one game, but it's a Quest exclusive, and me and you played it. I forget the damn name. It was really fun. It was cool.
Oh, the zombie one?
Yeah.
Yeah, so well, there's a couple of like Quest exclusives that are trying. The issue is they're unique IPs, so there's no coverage for them. There's no advertising for these
Mhm.
things at all. They're very short runtime, and while they're not charging much for them, it short runtime. You want something that's replayable, and once they do them, they're done. There's no sequel. There's no series. The only kind of other example I could think that's close is Arizona Sunshine, but it's very different because you openly explore the world.
Yeah.
If you had a game that was a Time Crisis clone and had its own universe that you could do sequels of, that game would do well. It would undeniably do well because people know the experience, they know the formula. Because VR is so motion based and dynamic movement based, if you had arcade games like the Jurassic Park ones or Let's Go Jungle, the games that really threw the player around in the arcade cabinet and focused on distorting vision, they would do incredibly well because this headset could handle it. They're not really marketing that way. The people who are doing this are very small single releases for $10 and then they move on to the next project.
Yeah.
While I'm glad they're doing it, we need a bigger push that way because I think the nostalgia factor alone of gamers who can afford these, this isn't a cheap hobby by any stretch of the imagination. You're going to hit that dopamine hit of, oh, yeah, it's the first time I've ever picked up a Time Crisis controller and it feels great.
Yeah.
I may have gone on a bit of a tangent there. I got to clean my eye, grab my beer. I may have got a bit of a tangent there.
Yeah.
I'm very passionate about light guns and arcade
Oh no,
things.
trust me, I get it. I love them. And I wish that I played them more growing up because as soon as I left Arizona, there was like none.
Uh huh. I got permission from the roommates to convert our living room TV into a mini light gun setup. I shouldn't say mini; it's a pretty good sized TV. So that might be my next home improvement project now that the boring stuff like the stairs and the electrical and the plumbing's out of the way. That might be my next for me project.
And how would you go about doing that?
So there are mini consoles, and this is gonna be. I'm not sponsored by anybody. Let's just get all that out of the for products like Raspberry Pi and other retro emulators. There are little 3D printed PCs, actually about this big. They'll be about that big around, and they'll be probably about yay thick, where you can plug in your controllers and you can plug in IR sensors. So it'll read wirelessly, and you put the sensors on the corners of the TV. That gives you your hitbox of where you're aiming, where's off TV, so you can shoot off screen
Mhm.
to reload, and you can buy guns. The ones I was looking at are Sinden because they are customizable. You can get a wider or narrower lens to kind of dial in your TV size and where your proper ranges and hitboxes are.
Mhm.
And that little computer can hold up to like a terabyte of data. Well, that might not sound like a lot for a PC. You got to remember, these old arcade games are like 50 megs, 100 megs, 500 megs each. They're not very big games. They're
No.
quite small, actually. The biggest thing you're going to be running is the hardware to emulate them and add new software and hardware on. So, or sorry, yeah, the software to emulate them and to add new software for upgrades, HD titles. There are games that never existed in arcades or PCs that people who love this franchise have made and released online. Amazing, amazing titles because the passion's just there. So, that I'm probably going to be setting that up in my living room in the future.
That sounds like a plan, sir. I hope I give you all the luck on that endeavor because that sounds awesome.
It's on the list. It's on the things to do. I'm such a gamer at heart, and I want to do all the crazy things I dreamed about as a kid, especially since Fortnite has ruined the prospect of having a game where Goku and Master Chief can fight. It's not as fun as I thought it was going to be. So I want to make the cool, crazy stuff happen my way, and the vision, the way I saw it in my head. I'll make it fun and be able to be enjoyed and shared with people. And with the goobers, I think I can make it happen. It's just going to be fitting it in the schedule because the home improvement stuff's done. I have to fix the Chevelle. It's not happy at the moment. After driving through that hurricane ass weather, several things got broken, so it's going to be down for a little bit. I have to fix the Jeep. We have another race coming up in December,
Oh,
November or December. So we need to do repairs and get it ready to hit the track once again. And I have to fix our truck to tow the Jeep because the truck is also down.
okay. Yeah, a lot of repairs on the vehicles itself.
Yeah, no, those are my personal projects. I mean, I'm always working on little things here and there. I like filming and doing stuff for the channel. I like doing stuff for content creation as a whole. So that I kind of prioritize what projects I could squeeze in a day. And the light gun is going to be like a personal project, so it'll get last priority. I have
Yeah.
to take care of the important stuff first.
Yep.
So it's on the list. It'll get there. I'm very excited, and I just had to because it's not just my house. I have to run it by house. Be like, hey, do you guys mind me fucking with the TV in the living room, just in case it could inconvenience a couple of your days. But yeah, no, it's kind of where my head's at because I've been in that itch of doing like VR shooters and light gun experiences for a while.
Yeah, same
And
tier. Yeah.
now that I'm gonna have a little bit of more time that things are clearing up, I definitely want to hit the VR end a little bit. I've done the research to figure out the light gun thing, so I'm like, oh, cool. Once everything clears up, I'll start building that. And my projects are kind of like one of the few ways I keep my credit cards active because I'm a simple guy. I never buy a lot of anything. I'm just kind of like it's groceries, gas, bills, and I'm like, all right, so I want to keep this card active, keep building credit, and then I'll get like a little thing for my PC, pay it off, and then once that's all done, I'll get another little thing for my PC. And like, all right, cool. So that'll probably be the light gun set next. Be like, all right, cool. Got the hard drive and the computer. Pay that off, get it all installed. All right, cool. Let's get the IR sensors and let's get the gun. And it's probably going to be that kind of snowball effect.
Yeah. Well,
And
sir,
who knows?
I was gonna say we're gonna have to end it here. As much as I'd love to continue this, we're running out of time. So, is there
For
anything
sure.
you want to say before we head off into the audience here?
Yeah, actually. Thank you so much for staying with us. I know this is kind of a weird, unscheduled, unformatted video. I just
Oh,
kind of wanted
very,
to catch up with my boy here. Oh, Barry, thanks.
very.
Uh, I wanted to catch up with my boy here and let everybody else know what's going on and still kind of give you a peek behind the scenes because we want to do our big projects. We want to do all this. We're just kind of working around life right now. People moving, people changing jobs, people absolutely flooded with their current jobs, different circumstances, all that nonsense. So we're still here for you. We still want to do this. Thank you for spending the time with us today. If you have requests or recommendations, I guess shoot them to us. I'm up to do something stupid. No bottle rockets.
Oh man.
That's my that's my piece. Go ahead and close this out, sir.
Well, thank you for joining me today. I know this is very on the
Always.
spot thing and very last second thing because I know you're a very busy man. I love talking to you every time, though. We can probably just go
Always
on
fun.
forever if we wanted to, but time constraints. Hey, so
I hit my desk.
thank you all so much for listening or watching. He's in pain.
Mhm.
We will catch you guys next time. See ya.